Indy Orpheum, TJ DeSantis, Nick the Tooth, Scott Ross hanging out here, and we got Eddie Cummings, Scott, already fighting. This is the only combat grappling event that you're going to find the champion coming out in the first fight.
Absolutely, and look at that unorthodox style of Sergio. He's keeping his feet away at all costs, which is a intelligent thing to do from Eddie Cummings. I've never seen anybody lay down to keep their feet away. That's a different approach, but that's kind of what we're expecting.
Yeah, you got to do. I mean, you have to change your approach when you're going against a guy like Eddie Cummings. You can't let him grab a leg at all, and if you make that mistake, Eddie has made a lot of people pay, and he looks to do that here in our first round. Eddie's shooting towards Sergio. Sergio is the underdog here, Nick. He's definitely a guy that you have to worry about. He has nothing to lose. He takes on the champion in the opening round. Eddie has to be careful here. Though he's heavily favored, Sergio could have some tricks up his sleeve.
Absolutely. I'm just...
Oh, but not right there.
That was it. Oh.
Credit to Sergio hanging out here for the time being, but Eddie, very dangerous. This is his world, Nick.
Unbelievable. It's Sergio, you got to give him credit for this unorthodox style. Very exciting.
Eddie Cummings last time out submitted all 4 of his opponents. He looks to do that tonight to try to get another $20,000 prize. This guy, he's right up there with Gary Tonin among the most prize money won, Scott.
Absolutely, and it's his leg locks that have gotten there. The leg locks, that's why he has the notoriety he has in the game. But he is actually a well-rounded player. It's not just leg locks. It's just that's all he's had to show off to us so far.
We see that here. Eddie takes the back, now has a triangle position on the body of Hernandez, and that will zap your opponent's energy quickly. 2 minutes into this opening round of regulation.
No, it's always interesting to see how every new opponent of Eddie Cummings is going to approach the puzzle of Eddie Cummings. You want to attack, but at the same time, you got to attack in a way that does not allow Eddie Cummings to grab your legs. Because once he gets a hold of that leg, he's got a good shot at taking it off.
Well, right now, he's trying to, open up the neck here, Nick. What is Eddie doing? What would you like to see him do?
He just trapped that arm right there. I mean, Sergio's in trouble here. The back is such a powerful position. It just goes to show how well-rounded he is, like Scott said.
Yeah, now it's a 2-on-1 battle to save his neck. Sergio in a lot of trouble here, Scott.
Absolutely. The way that Eddie Cummings put his right foot down behind the hip, that's a great way to help keep control of that arm that you've trapped. It's not the standard. Most people are going to have their foot going over the abs to pin that arm down. But it's a very tight approach when you can get it in at that angle.
Eddie trying to fish that right arm underneath the chin of Sergio. Sergio almost turning, belly down here, but that triangle is open. He may be able to end up in the guard here of Eddie if he can get free.
Yeah, it's also look how Eddie's like digging his thumb into the throat.
He still has that arm isolated as well. Now belly down is Sergio Hernandez. Rolling here, Sergio just biding his time, but this is Eddie Cummings' world. Very dominant position for the Wolverine.
Yeah, it looks like he could get a neck crank.
The arm is twisted up too, Scott. I mean, that's...
No, but that's what's going to set up that neck crank, because that's not a good angle. That is not a good angle.
Definitely not. And you can see Sergio grimacing there.
He is inching it under that chin, TJ.
Rear naked choke would be nice for Eddie Cummings. Show off his well-rounded game here. And you want a submission. Any submission gets it done. Eddie is a leg locker, but a very well-rounded grappler. And
look at that arm.
Yeah, he's
got to be close to tapping from that arm.
It's definitely. I don't even know what we call that. Is this a submission, Scott? Does this have a name? It's the bully wrench or something like that. I mean, someone did this to me in elementary.
That's it.
Oh, there it is! Wow.
That's